radios, and I ended up putting down 25, I think. And it seems to play really, really, really good. Really good. I'm really impressed with it. So I don't think I'm going to mess with it. Back in that control stick.
I hear that. So yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I also did a field repair, one of my first field repairs. For everybody that's on there, before we get started and get into there, I forgot to look for short times check-ins for mobiles and portables. We do have this evening the VE6 IDK repeater out of Spruce Grove, Alberta. So we thank the owner and operator of that for attaching to the net. We also have the VE3 PGC repeater, which I'm talking through now. Out of Cornwall, Ontario. I want to thank the owner and operator of that repeater for letting us kick it in. So before I go any further, are there any short time check-ins? Are there any one on the Cornwall or Spruce Grove repeater want to check in? Please come down.
VE1DXW or EchoLink short time.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. My friend Devin there, VE1DXW. I met Devin in a class, and we've been on EchoLink. As you guys know, I'm trying to keep EchoLink alive. Also, I heard some news that Ham Shack Hotline is probably going to be going down in August. But Devin, good to hear you in there. What's been going on in your neck of the woods? And did you hear the question of the week before you get started?
Yeah, Roger that, Ernest, I did. Nothing really comes to mind on that. My name's Devin. Live in Nova Scotia. Been a ham radio operator for about 7 years, and I do a lot of FT, HF, and DMR lately. Back over to you for now, Ernest.
All right, Devin. Yeah, that's right. I've been seeing you out there. I've been really taking it easy this month, and I've been to. Well, I went to test the antenna there the other day, so that gave me a second park. I've been in the Radio Amateurs of Canada Challenge. I started about 7 months in last year, and 3 more days I'm going to be celebrating my 1-year anniversary on HF. Yes, I got my license for HF on the 24th of April, but didn't get a radio until way after that, and didn't really go out and talk on the radio until my first pod activation, which is around the 13th of July. So I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary. I was able to meet some goals I set for myself, and one of those goals was activating, having 1,000 QSOs every month for 12 months straight. And I did that. So it was very hard, especially these last couple months. It takes an accurate I used to go out there and easily wake up 200-300 contacts in a 2 or 3 hour span. Trying to get 200 or 300 contacts now takes you about 7 or 8 hours. And I mean, I've learned a lot, and I know how to get contacts and all that stuff like that. And it's just been brutal on the bands. So that's what I should change my topic to. You guys can still talk about if you had anything that worked that shouldn't or that should and didn't. But you can also talk about the band activity because I'm thinking it's just me. So, Devin, how the band's been treating you? I know you're a quick in and out. How's the band been treating you in Nova Scotia? They're over?
It's been hard, Ernest. It's been hard. I did manage to get 72 contacts yesterday, but I want to say 75% of them was through FTA. And probably about 5 or 6 DMR, and then a couple of HF. So it's been hard.
Roger on that. But here's the good thing. When you love radio as much as we do, and you can go to a different mode, it keeps the fun going, right? Because I'm like you, I don't know about the bad bands. I just go to FT8, Fusion, DMR. I just like to talk. EchoLink, AllStar Node, the whole 9 yards. Thanks for being out there. That's Devin, folks, VE1DXW out of Liverpool, Nova Scotia. All right. Any other short time check-ins or anyone on the VE1DXW or VE3PGC repeater on the check-in? Please come now.
Quebec Sierra. I just want to say hi, Ernest. I'm in for a short and out, and that'll be it for me tonight. And Jim is back on the air, Ernest. VA3EWV, Jim, over. 73 for now. Bye.
Well, Jeff, VA3 Quebec Sierra, thanks for coming and telling me that. You know, the moment I stopped hearing Jim on the radio, I started calling folks. You went by the house there. I was scouring everywhere, and I started getting very, very scared there. And I'm so glad to hear that he's back on the air. Of course, he'll be back on the air when I'm nowhere around, because I've been sitting there like the search for Red October for months there. So it's good to see that he's back on there. Thanks for letting me know that, Jeff. And if you're around, we'll catch you down the log. All right, the next person that's in there that is logged in the longest, we have Kilo Foxtrot 4, Bravo Oscar Golf. Please come in. How are you this evening? So we have Mike out of Huntsville, Alabama on there. Remember too, some folks are checking into AllStar and EchoLink for the first time. That is that is an AllStar. Wait a minute, no, it is an EchoLink connection there. Kilo Foxtrot 4, Bravo Oscar Golf. If you can hear me and you're on there, just stay tuned. And no problem if you're trying to get in. If you're on a tablet or anything like that, just keep trying at it, and then we'll get back to you. But we'll try it one more time. Kilo Foxtrot 4, Bravo Oscar Golf. Please come on in. Now up next, oh my goodness, up next is a name I hadn't seen in a while. VA3JPX. How's my good friend James? How you doing this evening? Come on in, James. No problem, no problem. Yeah, I saw you sound a little bit in the woods there, but yeah, we'll give you a second to come back in.
Take the next check-in, and I'll come back, okay?
No problem. I'll do just that. As soon as I saw your name, too, I ran to the TransCanaNet schedule to see if I had missed anything. I've been a little out of the radio there for a little while this month, and I was like, is it my turn? But I see you got out there doing the net on Sunday. We'll come back around to you there. I'm due on the 20th, so I'll get a little breather there. All right, we'll come back to James there. And the next person we had on our list is Kilo Golf 5, Foxtrot, India. Please come now.
Good evening, Ernest. KG5FI, Jack here. And to answer your question, I've had good luck with radios. When I have a 17-foot vertical and a 25-foot vertical that I extend up when I go out on my pull activations. And I have made 16.5-foot radios. I have them in a set of 3 and then 3 sets, so 9 total radios. But I have a set that I can just plug in.
Exactly.
In 3 different places, so it's real convenient to set up, and they've always worked very well for me. But on those verticals, I also use a door screen, like a big old window screen that I have rolled up. I unroll it, lay it on the ground, and I don't have to use the radios. The screen works very well.
Really?
And I also have a Faraday cloth. And the radios, the screen, and the Faraday cloth, I can't tell the difference when I'm working with them. Let me take a break here. And so I guess I'm the lucky sucky side with my experimentation. So back to you, and good to hear you.
Kilo Golf 5, Foxtrot India, and the group Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor returning. Yeah, I mean, when I started, good you had the luck with that, and at least you know your how long they are and things like that. A guy got a hold of me and said, "Aren't you embarrassed you don't know the answer to that?" And I'm like, you know what? I got to be honest with you, friend. I was a 11-meter man forever, and we just plugged things in, and they just went on about their business. You know, we didn't have to tune anything. We didn't have to know this and that. Most of the times, I went to the truck stop, and then they just peak tuned and modulated, right, and hooked everything up, and you just used it. You just turned to a channel, and you just went on about your business. So I'm trying. I did put pictures up on my Facebook group. Yes, folks. If you don't know, I do have a Facebook group on the air with VA3EWV, and I do have a YouTube channel as well. And I'm not a technical person by any means, so don't go there thinking you're going to learn anything. But if you want to go there and see some fun happening, that's me. I guess some of the biggest hits I got out there for my videos was me having poutine in the park. So, and there's actually a guy, Hotel India 8 Delta, who saw me with my poutine in the park, and he has been sending pictures to me of him making his poutine there. He's starting to do a good job. Okay, we're gonna go back to another foodie there that I used to see all the time posting food stuff, getting me hungry all the time. My good friend James VA3JPX. Come on in, James.
How copy there, Ernest? Let me crank things up here.
There you go. There you go.
A little crappy. How copy so far?
No, you came right up there in the end. You're sounding good. Very. So let's go. Let's go.
All right, yeah, no, now I'm really too much. Oh, hey, what the hell's going on tonight? Anyway, you guys put shit in the park and you got me right there, man. You know what? Fries, gravy, and you know what? Some people put like pulled pork on it and pepperoni and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Just give me some damn French fries, some gravy, and some cheese. As my good friend Patrice O'Neill said, you know what, you know, hey, let me tell you something, man. There's only one thing that ever matters in Canada, and as Patrice O'Neill said, French fries, gravy, and cheese. Anyway, that's my Patrice O'Neill rendition. Anyway, it's been a long time since I've been here, and not because I don't want to be here, but my brother's estate, who had passed away, his estate had finalized, and I've been lavishing my funds, as I guess you could say. So I haven't been around to play radio in the evenings, but I am now. So anyway, back to you, Ernest. Nice to hear your voice again, and we'll be listening for the duration of the next. VA3EWV from VA3EWV AllStar Chanson, Ottawa.
Victor Alpha 3, Juliet Papa X-Ray. You know, it sounds a little different. It's almost like two different people when you say JPX and Juliet Papa X-Ray. My friend Jeff, who's listening, Victor Alpha 3, Romeo Quebec Sierra. That doesn't sound as good as Victor Alpha 3 Radio Quebec Sierra. So always, you know, that makes me laugh because when I'm doing outdoor activations, or I might as well say outdoor activations, I really don't do anything in the house to work that's talking about. But they'll say it their way, and then I'll say it my way so I can know how to put it on the paper, right? So that's how it goes. Thank you, James, for being out there. One more time, we'll take a quick check-in for the VE6IDK and the VE3 PGC repeaters. I keep saying it over because I'll forget those, and there'll be people there waiting. So if anybody's on the 2 repeaters, please come now. Okay, moving on down the list and waiting patiently, my friend Victor Alpha 3, Juliet, India, Charlie, VA3, JIC, come on in.
Good evening, Ernest, and good evening to everybody on the net. Well, my name is Jim Julie, India Mike. I've been a ham since 2022. Other than that, not too much. This is Southern Ontario. It's very, very hot here. It was 35 degrees today here with the humidex. Tomorrow's going to 40 degrees with the humidex.
Wow.
And your topic. Actually, I've been involved in many, many different projects. I love making antennas for many things, including handhelds. One of my favorite ones was a handheld antenna with net-null wire. Most people have not heard of that wire, but net-null wire, if it gets bent and you want to straighten it up, you stick it back, you stick it in the freezer, and it will go perfectly straight again.
Oh, wow.
Had much success with them. They work wonderful with the counterpoise on them. And today was my first parts on the air today.
Whoa.
I didn't quite know what I was doing, but it was quite exciting for sure. I absolutely enjoyed it and look forward to going back there again. Thanks, Ernest, so much for taking my check-in. This is Victor Alpha 3.
Well, we're almost celebrating an anniversary. You're getting out there for the first time now. And like I said, in 3 more days, I'm going to be celebrating 1 year doing Parks on Air. I'm very excited that you got out there to do your first activation and stuff like that. That's pretty good. So after, if you have time, you can tell us all about it or tell me all about it there. And did you, well, I'll just ask you now while we're here. And I want to say hello. I want to say hello to my buddy there that just came online. VA3, Victor Alpha 3, Golf Alpha Mike. Victor Alpha 3, Golf Alpha Mike in the log saying hello, cutting up here on YouTube there, making me laugh. I'm getting him in the log now. Let's see. We got you in there. George, we got you in the log. And George is from Concord, Ontario there. He's saying hello to everybody. Okay. So did you what was your setup, if you don't mind sharing?
Well, the radio I was using was an ST891 with an LG 100 plus tuner, and just a cheap Chinese antenna, a whole $55 antenna, 17 feet vertical, and absolutely was outstanding on 20 meters. The match was 1-to-1 on 20 meters across the band. Yes, there was ground aerials on it. I had 22 ground aerials, and I may put some more on it. I'm not sure as it gets. Absolutely outstanding. I would seriously consider buying another one of those antennas. Cheap money is always a good.
I'm telling you.
Thanks so much.
Man, I'm telling you. Hey, is it that red one? The one that I've been seeing on like Facebook from Temu or something like that? It's like red, got a red bottom. How many radios did you have on that? I thought you said 22. Did you say 22 radios? And is it that red one that everybody's picking up there over?
QSL, it was the red one, and yes, 22 aerials I had on it, and actually I had to take some off because the wires come out of the eyelet. Well, sometimes that happens, and I didn't have the tools to put it back on. So, I'm actually maybe that little red antenna off Temu or Amazon. That thing just tuned up like 90, and I would, like I said, I would buy one again. You know, I don't believe in spending big money. I believe in spending wise money, and that's what we did. So thanks a lot, Ernest. Back to you.
All right. Well, one thing I have learned, and I know everybody else has learned it too. My wife made me a shirt, by the way. I'm going to give her a plug there right quick. Sassy Designs, but she made me a shirt there. And it says, don't forget your crap. Cables, radio, antenna, and power, right? And then she goes, you got your crap? And I stop and I go, radio, antenna, cables, and power. Yep. I'm going, but I didn't think about the radios because I've left those a couple of times at the house. Only thing that saved me is I have wait a minute. I have the infrared half wave that stays in the car. I have my mobile that's a 9-bander that stays in the car. I don't have it on the car; it's too heavy. But when I go to a park or something that I can't really go sit down in there or get in the park, or if I'm at a historic site, like when I went to the Royal Canadian Mint, I wasn't going to set up a 20-foot antenna. Right, because I tried to do that when I first got, like last year. I got the car and I was setting everything up, and next thing you know, all these cars are around me, right? And they look pretty, they're like, what's going on here? I'm like, nothing else, y'all need to buy, and I was gone, right? But the next time I pulled up there, I had the mobile on there, and it was just the antenna sticking up, and I was parked there on site, and I did my FT8 quietly, not making any bringing any attention to myself, and I rolled on out of there, going, now see how you like me now. Okay, hey, I'm going to just grab one. I've heard everybody talking about them. I'm going to grab me one, and just so I can have it as a spare, because when you go out there and things break up on you, it can really make it for a bad time. Okay, we're at the bottom of the net here. One call out for PGC and VA3EWV. Looking at the YouTube there, we got people on there. 3 folks checked in. So if you want to leave your name or call sign on YouTube, let me know. Okay, we have talked to Mr. Allen, Devin, Jeff. Well, let me give those call signs. 1 second. So if you got your paper and pen handy, we have NX3F, Mr. Allen, out of Temple, here's Maryland. We have V1DXW Devin out of Liverpool, Nova Scotia. Victor Alpha 3 Radio Quebec Sierra Jeff out of Cornwall, Ontario. Kilo Foxtrot 4 Bravo Oscar Golf out of Huntsville, Alabama. That was Michael there. VA3JPX, our friend James out of Ottawa, Ontario. Good things grow in Ontario. Kilo Golf 5 Foxtrot Alpha, our friend Jack there out of Sunset, Texas. James, Victor Alpha 3 Juliet India Charlie out of Guelph. And then George, Victor Alpha 3, Golf Alpha Mike. And yours truly, Victor Alpha 3, Echo Whiskey Victor, Ernest from St. Andrews, West Ontario. Yeah, let's give it up. Okay, anybody on PGC, VE3 PGC, and VE6 IDK want to check in? Please come now.
Victor Echo 3 X-Ray India Delta on EchoLink from the Cornwall Hospital. No traffic, Ernest.
I would say you're a sight for sore eyes, Jim, but you're an ear for sore eyes. I hope everybody been telling you, I've been looking for you and looking for you and looking for you. I don't think that was 3 days had went by and I didn't see you on DMR, so I got a hold of Doug. Hey, can you go and look at DMR and see if James has been on DMR? Then I knew Jeff lived close. I'm like, could you go check on James? And I've been asking about you all the time. Good to have you back on there. And good to have things like EchoLink, folks. That's why I'm on EchoLink now. When I did all my talking with Devin, and he was a quick in and out tonight, but Devin was in the hospital there for about 3 months, and we talked to each other there. And I keep EchoLink for that reason, because you can be anywhere with a connection and be able to check in. We're good to have you out there, Jim. and glad to have you back on there. Okay, with that being said, we're at the bottom. The first part of this was, a couple of things. You could talk about band conditions, all that stuff like that. But what caught my fancy, and I'm going to be asking a question at the end. The Faraday cloth, the screen. I've heard of a Faraday cloth, but I think I saw it on one of the sites. People doing that. I never heard of the screen, so I'm definitely interested in what you do with the screen. That was kind of caught me off guard there, and so I'm interested in that. So we're down to the part where we're doing on the weekend there. So Mr. Allen, we'll start with you at the top of there. NXPF, what's going on for your weekend there? Over.
Yeah, VA3EWV, and that this is NX3F. Well, let me see. I got some things I got to tighten up around here. We're having a big, my wife's having a big family reunion next weekend.
Oh.
Folks coming in from Texas and Louisiana and so on and so forth. So, got to get things squared away here. So that's probably be doing that. Yeah, HF conditions have been awful. They've been terrible here. I just want to make a quick note in case, just to throw a quick thing out here. Stand by. Those of you listening that have a one of these auto tuners, automatic antenna tuners that they make now, LDG, SGC makes them, so on and so forth. But here's something you all might want to try sometime, just for the heck of it. And I tried it, and I swear by it. Take the tuner, especially if you're using an end fed halfway or random length piece of wire, and put the tuner out at the base of the antenna. And you got to get some DC power out there, regardless if it's batteries, run batteries, or run a line from the house, AC line from the house, or power supply, or whatever, and try that. And I can testify that thing will work like a gunshot. I've been doing that now using tuners at the base of tuners at the base of the antenna now for about almost 25 years now. I can swear that thing works like gangbusters. So you only can do that with an automatic auto tuners. Well, you can do it with a manual tuner too, because you have to run back and forth and tune it with SWR brick and all that other stuff. But just to throw a tip out there, that's the net control, NX3F.
NX3F in the group, Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor return. So let me I was trying to look at this in my head, okay? So I remember my first outing with the NFED halfway. That's what's good to be on YouTube with that, because folks tell you I have no problem with people helping me save a life, right? And be safe and operate all that and teach and all that. Because I remember one of the first parks I went to is Confederation Park across the street from my work. And I went out there with my NFED half wave, and I was setting up for the first time, and I had the end with all the sting on it on the ground, and where the wire was connected, I had that up in the air. And a person reached out to me and said, "Hey, look, don't want to be that person, but I saw dogs and kids and everything else running out around. You want to put that the hot side in the air and the coax side on the ground." So now when you say the auto tuner, so here's what I'm imagining in my head. You have the hot up in the air somewhere. Wait, so, okay, I don't have an external tuner. Mine's built into the 991, but I've seen them. But all the ones I've seen, they've been attached to the radio, like with a bracket. So it looks like they have a button that they just press. And I forget the model of the radio, but we have some in our club, and one of my friends has one. But they press the. Let me pause for a second. Okay, they go to the frequency, they press the button, and what fascinated me about this, my friend VA3EWV there, we're at Field Day, he had a vertical. It was tuned for 20, and for me, I have to go to my vertical, and if I have to put it on anything, I have to go out and move it. I have to expand or retract the antenna. He just put his radio on 40 meters, hit the button, and it's like, okay, let's go. Now he put it on 17, and it's like not a chance, right? But he put it on 40, he said, and he was talking on 40. And I was like, what kind of sorcery is that? But he had the antenna, and he said, oh, in your radio, it's a 3-to-1, and his is whatever to 1. So anyway, hold on. So auto tuner, so that's remote, and that's somewhere else. So I don't understand. So where's the cord? What do you have connected from your radio to that? I don't get it. Did I lose everybody?
I think somebody else wanted to get in there too. Was there somebody else that wanted to get in there? Oh, it's NX3M. Yeah, Victor Alpha 3 Juliet.
Net recognizes Victor Alpha 3 Juliet India Charlie. Go ahead.
Ernest, I think if I can wrap my head around this, what he's telling everybody is put the auto tuner at the base of the antenna with a small piece of coax into the DX of the antenna, or the automatic tuner, and then run the wire from the other side of the tuner to your radio, so it actually gets precise tuning to the antenna and not the whole wire. You got it. You won the prize. That's it.
How about posting a picture there? Come on. So okay, look, you're gonna have to post a picture. You know, us new ham people, we're operators, right? So I can't speak for all of them, but most of them are operators. So I like to see a picture of that, because in my head, there's your radio here. You have a long cable from the radio, like some kind of controller cable, all the way out there to your tuner. But then your tuner is attached to your infant half wave way over there, and not well, anyway, send me a picture. See, that's why we have this net. Okay. Kilo Golf 5 Foxtrot India, you're up next. How's it going? Oh shit.
Oh, going fine. I've been busy several days at my favorite park with POTA, and I'm a volunteer examiner for our STC test. And I usually spend either 3 hours in the morning or 3 hours in the evening with the group I work with. We give them over the internet, over using Zoom. So busy with that. And the window screen is picture a screen for an entry door to your house. That's all that it is. I'm gonna like a meter by 2.5 meters, and you literally lay it on the ground. That's all you do. And then with my vertical antenna, I have 3 aluminum tripod legs that it attaches to, that sits on the window screen, and that is the ground system. They're in place of radios, and it works just as well as my radios work with my vertical antennas. Does that give you a better picture?
Well, here's the deal with that. I'll tell you something. That does give me a better picture. And one thing that I wish I did not have to do, especially in the wintertime and all that stuff, and even now, it's like, I stepped back from I haven't gotten out of doing parks on there, but I've only been out twice. Once to do an activation, and then once to test the radios that John gave me, right? That he made for me. By the time I got through untangling those things, because, I had it wrapped up the best way as I could. And by the time I got them all extended and tripping on stuff and this and that and blah, 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 I had blown about 20 minutes, right? And those who've been with me for a long time knows that I used to leave out the building at work, cross the street, that took me 3 minutes, and I'm a big dude. 3 minutes, went to my little pedestal or power box. That's what it was. Put my backpack on top, took the antenna out, put it out there, and putting the radios out was the longest. Not just extending the whip, that's nothing, but getting the radios out, the 4 radios, right, and then connecting the cable, turning on the radio, attaching the battery, turning on the radio, and tuning it. So that was my 15. I had 7 minutes to do that. Okay. But then the next 30 minutes I was talking. So I was wishing that I could find something that I don't have to go doing all this spreading stuff out. And you said that you didn't see the difference. So I'm going to go to Home Depot there, and it's not the plastic stuff. It's got to be metal, I guess you're saying. So if that works, that will save me a lot of time to just put a piece of screen down. Oh, are you using your radios too and the screen? Or can you just use the screen? Over?
I use just the screen, and I swear to you, it works absolutely wonderful.
Okay, talk about a time saver. So I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna go to Home Depot and get me a piece of that, because I'm telling you, what do you have holding down the ends? Because I guess you roll it up. So I guess you unroll it with the roll side down, like you keep it steady. Throw the thing on there, and then you just go with it. Eh? Is that what you're doing?
Okay, when I first got it, I just rolled it up, but it started to kind of unravel on the ends. So I took 2 wood strips, and I've got a wood strip on each end,
Oh,
and it rolls up easier. You can put it upside down, switch it around. It doesn't matter. And if it gets a little dirty, you can take a hose and wash it off. But the wood strips on each end, very small wood strips, helps me a lot. It rolls up and goes into the trunk of my car really easy. Back to you, KG5FI.
well, coming to a Facebook post and a YouTube video near you. I'm going to do that and see what the deal is. Thank you for sharing that, and we appreciate it. All right. Checking the repeaters one more time, VE3PGC and VE6IDK, before we go down to our next person, which is going to be VA3JIC, and then James, VA3JPX. Anybody on the repeaters, please come now. Okay, Victor Alpha 3, Juliet India Charlie, the mic's yours. Go ahead.
All right, Ernest, thanks so much again. And that whole screen thing, I've seen videos on it, and I have not tried it, but I will try that. You don't want to use the fiberglass screen; you want to use the aluminum screen. And to what I see, it absolutely works wonderful. I just never had a use to do that, but I will try that now. And to my thought, you should run your ground aerials in pairs of 2, and not odd numbers. So if you got 4, you put them, left to right, front to back, and so on and so on. I believe that is the theory on the ground aerials, which the screen would work exactly the same. Thanks a lot, Ernest. Back to you.
Hey, and that was going to be my topic tonight, right? Things that shouldn't work that work, and things that you want to work that don't work. Because I had 4 aerials, and I had a antenna that was a full-length antenna. And then through the wintertime, those of you that have been following me, I first broke it the first time at Sir John Johnson House. That was a historic site. It was -30 when I went out to the park. Everything was just blistering cold. And I was in the car with the car on idle, and they don't want you to do that. But I also didn't want to freeze to death. And I knew if I get those points in the wintertime, I would have a head. That's why I can take the month off, because I'm double the next person. Like the next person that's close to me is like 800,000 points away or something like that crazy. But I broke the antenna trying to uh trying to shrink it back in, and it snapped, because they're hollow, and I was like, dang it. So I was like, so, but I had a nail, so I kind of like bored it and I stuck it in there and I tried to press it down to hold it, and that didn't work. So I just threw that piece away. That was like 4 or 5 inches. Then I was in Quebec, cold again. The thing's froze. As a matter of fact, when I was pushing the antenna inside of itself, the ice was just coming off, like you're scraping ice off a window. Broke it again. So now it's broken twice. So then that part, I have it bent just a little so it touches the inside of the other pipe, right? So I have that. And then the third time I broke it. And by that time I had lost the fourth radial anyway. But I get out on the radio all the time with that handicap antenna that's missing a good foot. And it had metal engraving where 20 meters should be. And I had to push it, pull the whole foot out, depending on the ground stuff too. But I only have 3 radials. And there have been many times because the banana plug at the end, I've tried to open it so many times, they just fallen apart. And if I stick it in the hole there, I have to kind of like make sure there's no tension on the wire. But I've gone out and worked, all kind of things, been out there 3 hours. Oh, you're 5 and 9. Oh, your audio is so good, yada, yada, yada. And by the time I get to the antenna, it's got maybe 1 radial in it. So I've been working with 3 forever. Now, John, he made me some, as you guys saw, and he did put them in 3. Like there's 2 pairs of 3. So there's 3, 6, 9, 12. So I guess that's an even number at the end of the day, but they're all in sets of 3, right? I only used it the one time, and and then I went, I timed out the repeater, I think. Okay, I think I timed out the repeater, so it might not hurt all. See, if it was just all EchoLink, that wouldn't be happening. Anyway, so as I was saying, I don't even know what I was saying, but oh yeah. So I've worked that antenna to death and had no radios, 2 radios, 1 radio, and people still giving good signal reports. And I know everybody's a 5 and 9, but I can still hear them pretty good. So I'm going to be tickled pink to go get the screen, because if I can stick that down, and I like the sound of that wood on the end just to give it a little bit of weight there, and that'll mean my deploy time will be like really quick, really quick. Okay, who else is there? I think we've hit everybody else. James said he had to run. VA3JPX, thank you again for being out there on the YouTube there and joining us on the net. Okay, anyone else from anywhere want to check in or say something, please come on in. Okay, we're at the bottom of the list and the top of the hour almost. I want to thank NX3F for being out here today, Mr. Allen, V1DXW Devin, VA3 Radio Quebec Sierra Jeff, Kilo Foxtrot 4, Bravo Oscar Golf Michael. We didn't hear from you. He came in a couple times and probably still working on that, but we welcome you to come in anytime. V3JPX, our friend James from Ottawa, KG5 Foxtrot India, Mr. Jack out there having some fun in the sun. James, VA3GIC, and George, VA3JAM, and my friend Jim, who I'm glad to hear back on radio, VE3XID. All right. Any last check-ins or any final thoughts, please come now.
Quick question. How did you make up with your 6-meter beam? You said you were going to put up last week. Go ahead. This is NX3F.
Okay, we had a pile-up right there right quick. VA3GIC, come on in first, and then NX3F is going to be next. You both were in at the same time. VA3GIC, go ahead with your thought.
Ernest, I just wanted to recite what you said at the beginning of the net. Yes, Amtrak Hotline is now closing up. the 29th of August, and yeah, so it's kind of sad to see them go, but it is what it is at the end of the day. But we still have names over IT, and yeah, it's just the way it is. And my friend there, Mike from Alabama, he was in there. He had to go, but he wanted me to relay the message to you. If you could check in, that'd be wonderful. He just had to go because things come up. So, yeah, I just wanted to say, Ham Shack Hotline is closing.
Well, it's good news and bad news. So what I can do, I'll be house sitting next week for my daughter there, so I won't even be around radio. But when I get back, that's good news for me because that other one I had signed up for that I guess started with an A. I didn't have a spot on my phone, right? On my phone. So now, with your help, I can remove the Ham Shack Hotline and then add that other one, right? So we'll just keep it moving there. Over.
Yeah, roger that. Amateur wire is the other one you're talking about. And, maybe something you might be interested in. There's an app you can put on the phone. It's called Ground Wire. You can actually put all your lines on ground wire, and absolutely works wonderful. So it's just a little FYI for thought.
All right, thanks so much for that. Okay, any other traffic, please come on in. Oh, my goodness.
Ernest, this is Jack, KG5FI. I wanted to ask you about it looked like a little crank-up tower on a trailer that you had used. Where in the world did you find such a short tower, so to speak?
Thank you for asking. I think NX3F was asking the same thing. Mr. Allen, were you asking about the same thing there over?
Well, no, not exactly. I was asking whether you got your beam up. I didn't know if your beam up on a tower at your house. The one you had a picture of it on in Facebook. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I got a two-birder with one stone situation going on there. My friend, VA3 Mike Hotel, Steve, I know he has a new call sign because in Canada, if you move to another province, you have to get another call sign. He doesn't have a system up. They just moved into their house there in Nova Scotia or New Brunswick or somewhere he moved to. And he had that trailer, him and his friend built together. That trailer was for two snowmobiles, so it's very wide. So that's what it was, a snowmobile trailer, as the story goes there. And it's a tilting trailer. Like the trailer has a hinge on the front and it can actually tilt. So you can just ride your snowmobiles up on top of it. He decided he was going to get his friend to fabricate, or one of his welding friends to fabricate a 20-foot tower and then make it on a hinge so you could just walk it down. And then when you got up to your field day site or your POTA site or whatever, you just put your whatever antenna you want on the end. It's got pulleys on it for in-fed half waves and all that stuff. It has like a 2-foot pole coming out the top, I think, 2 foot. And he also gave me instructions on how to build this top part where when it's up, it automatically locks in place. But when you start bringing the tower down, it unlocks itself so that when you're lowering the tower itself, the antenna stays flat, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to we have the friend that's the fabricator. He's already said he's going to make it for me. But so that's that. It works really good. It's got, let me pause. So anyway, the story, and I'm going to get on the 6-meter thing too. But anyway, he had worked on that. He was ready to go for field day and stuff like that. And the wife said, "Oh, there's a house for sale right next door to my sister's." And then he was gone. And he was on like something like 5, 6, so whatever acres, tractors, trailers, you name it. And then he's very happy where he's at. Hi, quote, quote. You know, happy life, happy wife. But he's like, I have no place to put it. And I don't know what I'm going to do. Can you keep it and then sell it for me? Right? Because he knows I don't like stuff in my yard. I don't like anything in my yard making my yard look junky. Right? And let me pause again.
Good evening. The time is 9 p.m.
Looks like I'm going to have to make this quick. Anyway, my kids try to bring trampolines and swings and stuff and this and that. And I'm like, get it out the yard. I want my yard looking junky. And then that came and it doesn't look junky. So now my daughter on Facebook was like, oh, I thought you didn't want anything in the yard. I'm like, yeah, but that's on wheels and I can move it. So right now I have it in the front of the yard, Mr. Allen. I didn't pull it up the whole 20 feet. And it's on a plate and stuff like that, but I think it should be guided, not that it has to be. So I put the big 6 I forget how many element beam on there. I think it's 5 elements or something like that. I don't know. I just use the stuff. Anyway, I took pictures and I put the specs on the website for the people who want the specs. Because the friend that gifted it to me, VA3EWV, he had several 6-meter beams. So first day it's up and I'm sitting there waiting and nothing happening. You know how that goes. The second day I'm waiting, nothing happens. Then I go to bed and then they were like, oh, the magic band came on while you were sleeping. The next day, the magic band came on while I was at work. So then I came into the shack and I had it on FT8 on 6 meters. And I see a person out there and I'm like, oh, somebody's out there. And then I just keyed it up there on FT8. And then I got my first contact on my beam on that. And I think I made 3 contacts that day. So I was very excited. And now I wait. And I think he said that the 6-meter thing is really active in June, not so much July. But I have it up there, and that's the story about that. So I'm pretty happy. And tomorrow I'm going to not do the full extent, extended fully. I'm going to bring it up a little bit more, and I'm just going to sit there and wait and have to see if I can get something tomorrow. So back over to you, Mr. Allen.
Yeah, okay, Ernest. I'm sorry, I had some distraction here. So you said you did get it up and you did work. You did have some contact on FTA. What was it? Up 20 feet, 10 feet, 20 feet? Is that what you said? Go ahead, break.
Yeah, Roger. So the trailer is a good 2 foot off the ground. And I didn't have it extended to full 20 feet because, you know, it's the first time I was actually cranking up the whole way. So I was a little bit scared. And plus, I didn't want to wreck my beam there. So I would say I had it up about, 15 foot in the air there. And I'm going to the to my logger here now. And so my first one was VE3ARF, my buddy Rob, but that was just a test. I knew I could get that one. But my first one on 6 meters was a Canadian station, VE3 Echo November. And my next one was another Canadian station out of Quebec, Victor Echo 2 Foxtrot Charlie Romeo. And then one from Vermont, Charlie Kilo Charlie 1 Mike Charlie. So those are the ones that I have on my log there. So 1, 2, 3, 3 contacts on 6 meters there. So, but I'm still excited. Like it was like, you know what I'm saying? When something's working, I'm like, it's working. And not only that, the thing was flat. The SWRs and stuff like that, flat as the board. So now we're just gonna wait for contacts to come in. Oh, back over to you.
Excellent. Good job. Yep. Well, I'm glad you had experience to work that. Wait till the band really starts getting crank up. The band really starts getting hot. I don't know. We have worked Europe 1-6. I've worked Nova Scotia, which I thought was fantastic, and then I worked out to the Midwest, out to what is it? Was it way out in the Midwest someplace? I can't remember where it was now. It was just 50 watts. So, but that's good. That's good. Saturday. Back to you.
Yeah, my friend Rob, who works 6 meters a lot. When I say a lot, I'm not talking about a little bit. He works a lot. He goes, hey, your first one was Vermont. Vermont is a hard place to get. So good for you. You got one of the like rare places to get right off the bat. You got Vermont. So that made me feel good. And that antenna, it says here the specs. M2 antenna. It's a 6 meter 5X HP, 6 meter Yagi antenna. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 radios on it. Yep, 5 radios on it. And I just put the ladder down, and the ladder, as you see on the picture there on Facebook, it's just perfect. I mean, it's barely touching the top of the grass there, that longest radio. So just put it on top of the ladder, get the beam up there, and I'm like, I'm going to get me a rotor. So I know ARRL sells like a, they have it on their website, like I forget the bands, but I think it's a 20 and 10 or something. So I think I'm going to get me a little beam and put up there. And this is perfect because I have a tower I wanted to put up, and the wife and I went back and forth about it, and I still don't have it up. So this is my alternative. And then when I get through with it, I just pack everything down, connect it to the tractor, and pull it there on the back 40, and lock it all up. And then it's out of sight, out of mind. All right. Okay. Anyone else want to check in? It is 9 o'clock. Any last words before we close down the net?
Yeah, just one more thing, Ernest. Victor Alpha Julie and Victor.
Go ahead there. Go ahead there. Victor Alpha 3, Juliet, Indian Charlie. Go ahead.
Ernest, I just wanted to let you know that I did open up a conference room on Andover IT. The conference room is ODA FT8FT4. It is open to everybody. It is a public room. Feel free to use it at any time you want. And I'm going to open up another one. I'm not sure exactly what I'm calling it, on amateur wire. But yeah, feel free to use that anytime. And the number is 183, I believe it is. I can post that if you wish.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say post it on there, and thank you for doing that. Okay, any other traffic before we close down the net? Please come down.
VA3EWV
VE3XID. Come on in. How's it going there, James?
I'm still in the Octo hearing section. Yeah. But no, you were talking about ham radio. What's that? Oh, ham shack. And that just started up before I got my license in January of '92. Now you're saying that they're shutting down. Oh well. I've never had one of those phones, but I have called people with them. Worked well. But oh well, that's the way things go. Other than that, we'll say 7-3 to everyone on the net, and well, turn it back over to Ernest.
Okay, VE3XID in the group. So yeah, you got to see it come in, and Saturday we're seeing it go out. I was just getting it. So, but you know, like you said, that's how it goes. But I still have two other fallbacks, and that's good. Okay, we're going to end it there tonight. Thank you everybody for coming out. We're going to be returning VE3 PGC and VE3 no VE6 IDK back to their normal operations. For those of you on YouTube, but we do have a YouTube channel there. For those of you on YouTube, since we're talking about 6 meters at the end, I always play a song so you can get to hear it on the YouTube channel there. It's called 6 Meter the Magic Band. So good night, everybody. 7-3 to all. And all you guys on YouTube, we'll close it out with 6 Meter Magic Band. 7-3, everybody. All right, here we go. Signals echo through the land. Wars cold with signals coming in with sporadic beats. Single stripe and I hear you. USB, but you're coming through. FT8 and FT4, making connections more and more. Magic band lights the sky. Meteor showers flashing by. Northern lights, I'm calling you. You're in the love, 5-5 Grid hunting every call. QSL cards on my wall. Very best regards to you. 73, this bond is true. Static whispers in the air. Connect everywhere. Echoes of a friendly tone. Never feeling so alone. Magic band, I hear you. QSL, you're coming through. FTA, you're coming through. I hear you. Speed, but you're coming through. QSB, but you're coming through. FT8 and FT4, making connections more and more. Magic band lights the sky. Meteor showers flashing by. Northern lights, I'm calling you. You're in the wrong 5-5 AU. Magic band lights the sky. Meteor showers flashing by. Northern lights, I'm calling you. You're in the wrong 5-5 AU. On my wall, very best regards to you. 73, this mine is true. Grilled in every call. USL cards on my wall. Very best regards to you. 73, this bond is true. Static whispers in the air. Hands connect everywhere. Echoes of a friendly tone. Never feeling so alone. Never feeling so alone. Never feeling so alone. Okay, and here's the other one. 6 meter man, he's on the air. DF stations everywhere. FTA is secret to breaking through the ionosphere. Morse code's happening in the night. Signals bounce from satellite. Hollows go, but he stays calm. 6 meter magic in his palm. Oh, 6 meter man, he's got the radio in his hand. Okay, folks, that's it. Have a good rest of your evening. And 7-3, hello, David, Kilo, Delta 2, Victor Echo, Kilo. So, David, I'm going to get you in the log, too. Good to have you out there. Let me get you in the log there. Kilo, Delta 2, Victor Echo, Kilo. Victor, Kilo, Delta, I'll put a 3 there. Well, let me get that fixed up. Kilo, Delta 2, Victor Echo, Kilo. So David out of Brooklyn there, Brooklyn, New York. Good to have you in there, David. Out of Brooklyn. We just finished our net. This net, I'm always surprised that we have quite a few people on it. We had 12 check-ins. You make our 13th check-in today. But I'm always thinking that there's going to be nobody there, and there's been someone there for 2 straight years. We've only missed 2 nets in two straight years because I've been away. So thank you for being out there, and we hope you're back next week here. You are on the YouTube channel checking in. We do have a Facebook group as well on the air of VA3EWV. So check everything out. Please like and subscribe. We're getting out of here now and going to go enjoy the rest of the evening with the XYL. 7-3, everybody. Have a good evening.